Hey, Skiba News Nation family. Hey, Jake. Hey, Opa. How's it going?
Hey, howdy, hey.
Hey, we're trying something new this time. We're doing Facebook and X. I got a notification that said that it wouldn't work on Rumble, so I'll try to figure out why that is. But how's it going, guys?
So good. I am just so happy to be home away from the holiday music. It's like the earworm that every store in America has sold its soul to. Oh,
Mariah
man.
Carey.
Mariah Carey is just a fantastic voice. And
Can you
I
imagine
think
how much money she makes every year? That's what I always, as an artist, when I used to make music, I was like, all I need is one good, you know, Christmas song,
and
and
it's
I'll be
always
set
the
for the rest of my life.
Christmas hit, right?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
but I'm
Yeah.
glad it didn't work out.
Well, hey, when it comes to the holiday cheer, the holiday topic is a very divisive thing sometimes. And the culture that you put around the holiday season is very important because it's the time that you gather your family together. And so when time, energy, and resources are put into the traditions of men, this is what I think of. Check this out. This is proof that people are all sheep, right?
Sheeple.
It's a massive traffic jam, and okay, so obviously I think the comparison there for me is basically when you're following another person's tradition, they're just following somebody else's tradition, and that tradition can go back so far. And I think what we all find is that sometimes even the funniest thing can have been just made up out of thin air, but the telephone game of history, as our traditions and our culture is handed down, we can end up doing things that really have no other meaning other than our ancestor kind of, add some kind of beautiful nostalgic twist and passed it down to us. So, that's how I look at kind of the modern holiday question. I think the best way to be is biblically based, point to actual, things that can be tracked and traced in the scriptures in terms of your culture. And then you'll have the culture of the Bible, right? The culture of the people of the book. But other than that, everything you can basically trace back to man, right? Is popes or different figures throughout history who have had a little touch on the spin of the world's narrative. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yep. Well, hey, we got a voicemail from our Skiba News Nation hotline. Do you want to hear it and maybe answer some questions? All right, let's play it, Opa. Hey, Miguel.
Yes, hello. This is for Jeremiah Skiba and Jake Grant. I was wondering if you guys might try to research a little and speak about some of the latest discoveries and things that are coming up in surrounding the COVID-19 PCR testing. The actual test strips that were used, that if you recall the way they were using those test strips, they were poking them into the nasal passage so far up, which has come out as close to the blood-brain barrier. And the actual mRNA vaccination it's now being told that those test strips did have the mRNA vaccination on the test strip itself. I think it had a patent, the test strip. So just wanted to give you guys that information and let you study it out and see. And you guys have a great day, and God bless you. And if you guys want to call back, our number here is.
So that was very interesting, I thought.
Yeah, thank you for leaving a voice message for us. By the way, anybody can call that hotline and leave a message for us to answer on the show. But yeah, I think that's a very it's a serious question. I think there was so much censorship on YouTube previously because of some of the very words you uttered, because they didn't want people publicly questioning what we were being told about certain elements of the whole thing. Whenever you think about what class of people or job description is most akin to the priesthood of the modern age, without a shadow of a doubt, most people, I would say, would point to those wearing the white lab coats of the medical establishment. And not only that, but also the scientific community, because it's through the pursuit of science that people at some point become an experiment playground. And I think when we become aware of that and how all of the ways that we interact with certain systems are basically giving up of bodily autonomy, because once you go under the supervision of a caregiver, it's very important to recognize that your life is in their hands. And so if you ask the question, what profession is most likely to have a God complex? Yes, it is that profession. I mean, also, lawyers and maybe a couple others. I don't know, like, rock musicians, they sometimes do. But yeah, man, I mean, I think it's just, there's a reason that we see this being slipped into so many elements. They're even talking about putting it in food, lettuce. Yes, I am. This is the I'm hungry for truth. I'm on.
He's a truthy monster.
Crumble hunt. I'm on the crumble hunt for juicy tidbits of reality.
We call them 6 eyes.
Yeah, and sometimes my hat needs glasses. I don't know if you guys caught that yet. Yeah, it helps them look at y'all.
I know Opa's got some really cool stories today. You want to start us off, Opa?
Yeah. This first one is about a study that's been made about our cities. And some of them's troubling, and actually troubling for you and me, Jeremiah. So let's give a listen to this.
For me?
Dozens of cities along the U.S. coastline are sinking at alarming rates. That's according to a report published in the journal Nature yesterday. New York City, Atlantic City, Virginia Beach, Charleston, and Savannah are among the cities sinking the most on the East Coast. The study also showed that much of the Gulf Coast is sinking rapidly, with southern Louisiana especially threatened by rising water. Climate scientists said these areas are now far more susceptible to devastating flooding from sea level rising than previously thought. The sinking is primarily due to excessive extraction of resources like groundwater, oil, and gas.
28 U.S. cities are sinking. Researchers from Virginia Tech developed maps for 28 cities, and at least 20% of each city's land was sinking. 25 of them were at 65%, meaning every city they looked was literally losing ground. It's not just coastal towns or New York City, which is sinking 2 millimeters a year from the weight of 1.68 trillion pounds of buildings. Texas appeared to be the state with the worst rates, with Houston taking the lead. And while this is all less than half an inch a year, some of those cities are actually sinking faster than Venice.
Did you know that 28 major cities in the United States are sinking? Yes, you heard that right. This isn't some far-off problem, it's happening right now in our own backyards. That's right. Over 33 million people are living in areas where the ground beneath them is literally dropping. So, what's causing this? Why are these cities sinking? The primary culprit is groundwater extraction. We rely heavily on underground aquifers for our water supply, especially in urban areas. When we pump out too much water from these underground aquifers, the ground starts to compact and sink. This process is known as subsidence. This is a growing issue in cities like Houston, Fort Worth, and Dallas, which are experiencing some of the highest subsidence rates, over 4 millimeters per year. That's quite a lot when you think about it. In some parts of Houston, it's even more extreme, sinking at 10 millimeters a year. Imagine the impact this has over a decade or more.
So, Dallas-Fort Worth sinking at almost a half an inch a year.
That's crazy. Now, Houston, I completely understand, and I, I'm not going to say I agree with it, but I don't disagree with it. If you catch my drift, I don't know. I feel like every time I'm in Houston, something bad happens to me. I don't know. We
Off
could probably
to San
do a live call.
Antonio then, right?
Yeah, San Antonio is pretty awesome.
Well, actually, San Antonio is sinking too. If you looked at the map that they had, which was kind of hard to see, but San Antonio was listed as one of the cities in Texas. Also around the world, the worst is Jakarta. Jakarta is sinking really, really fast. They think by 2030 it's going to be totally underwater.
Is that from drilling?
I don't know about Jakarta.
No, I mean just anywhere. Like, is that why we are sinking?
Why we are? It's because of we're extracting a lot of water from the Waterford, whatever you call it, underneath, and pulling up. Well, I guess in Dallas-Fort Worth, it's probably because of the fracking we're doing all in this area up here.
Thing.
Yeah. Houston is because it's got a lot of limestone in Houston, and when it gets soaked with water because of the Gulf of America.
That's right.
And it just starts sinking because it gets saturated with water underneath. So there are various reasons. So what do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting how all these population centers here in Texas are sinking. Maybe y'all need to stop eating so much brisket. I think you guys are just
we don't eat
people.
No.
We don't eat brisket. We ate them big steaks, man, them big juicy steaks.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and so it's making y'all sink into the earth. Well, no, I think it's really interesting, different areas of the earth. And so it makes me look at the concept of Atlantis and all those big underground megalithic structures. And it's like, oh yeah, that's where all of our history is. It's literally under the ocean because over time, I guess, things sinking down into the water.
That's my home city. That's where I was born, Fort Worth, Texas.
Nice.
What up?
All right.
Well,
so
besides sinking, what else we got, Opa?
Well, lately we've been having a lot of trouble with airplanes, and we've been worrying about flying and engines falling off and stuff like that. Well, here's a little clip. It's not very long, but it's a little clip about Southwest Airlines being sued by one of their pilots because of something that happened back in, I think it was 2022 or 2020, but let's take a listen and see. And it's just another thing to worry about.
This morning, we know a Southwest pilot is suing the airline, her union, and a former colleague. That colleague, also a pilot, pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor after Christine Janning accused him of locking the cockpit door and stripping naked in front of her back in 2020. He was sentenced to probation and is now retired. She is now suing for sexual assault. She's also saying that the union conspired with the airline and refused to support her. Southwest says it did support Janning. No response from the union yet.
It's like Southwest Airlines is so bad enough, and then this guy's going to get naked. It's like, oh my gosh, even one more reason not to fly Southwest Airlines. Every person I know that has ever worked there is a pervert. So
he locked the door, stripped with the co-pilot, which was a lady. And this is you want to fly on any airplane where you got pilots that do silly stuff like that. I mean, my God, it's bad enough.
Jake, have you ever seen The Rehearsal? Because I tried to get Opa to watch it, but Opa didn't watch it. It's Nathan Fielder, who's a comedian, but he practices all these things, and he does it with pilots. And the co-pilots are always so scared to fly with they're too scared to tell the big pilot, the one in control, the captain, that you should be doing this, you should be doing this, because they feel like they're like lower than. And then the autism community actually reached out and said, hey, your movie or your documentary is actually helping a lot of autistic people. And he was like, what? And he just kind of ties it into his thing. It's so crazy.
Oh, I have to
should
see
check it
that.
out.
Yeah, no, oh
It's
man,
actually really funny.
So you want to get in an airplane, Jake?
yeah, I don't even know. Oh man.
When was the last time you flew?
Oh, it's been a couple months now. Maybe near over a year, probably. It's been a while.
Okay, so next story actually I think just happened very recently here. Trump is at I guess he's up in New York somewhere where they're pulling the team seedings or what have you for the soccer championship or the football championship that's being held here in North America and actually in the United States. And he was actually awarded an award, and he made a little comment that's very interesting. So let's take a listen.
That you can wear everywhere you want to go.
Right now.
Okay, let me hold. Fantastic. Excellent.
This is truly one of the great honors of my life, and beyond awards, John. At that point, and who knew this was going to happen? But when you look at what has happened to football in the United States, it's again soccer in the United States. We seem to never call it that because we have a little bit of a conflict with another thing that's called football. But when you think about it, shouldn't it really be called? I mean, this is football. There's no question about it. We have to come up with another name for this. It really doesn't make sense when you think about it. But this is really football.
So we need to rename our football. Sure, the NFL's real happy about that, right?
Trump unifying the world through sports renaming.
Well, that award he won was some kind of a peace prize.
It's like your soccer ball shaped peace prize is way more valuable than that other peace prize that I might still want.
It's like the second. It's like the used Nobel Peace Prize. It's like not the highest, but he's getting there.
He's like, y'all got a Nobel Peace Prize. I got a ball Peace Prize. Yeah.
Right.
You know. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's also wanting a stadium named after him, and the stadium they're building now for the football team, and he wants the football team to be renamed back to its original name. So
I think he's in legacy, mode. He's trying to get everything named, and all of the memories to point back to his impact on the world.
Yep.
Okay, so next story. There is in the recent past, we've had cola wars, and they had been going on for quite a while, but it has quieted down some. Okay, and the cola wars basically. Being quieted down, somebody wants to get back into them. Somebody wants to restart the cola wars. And basically, if you look at today, the top five selling U.S. Sodas in the United States or North America, actually, is Coca-Cola's number one. Dr. Pepper is now number two.
Texas company.
Waco,
Texas, before Waco.
Yeah, Waco, sorry.
Right before,
Sprite is number three, and Pepsi's number four, and Diet Coke is number five. So the company that owns Dr. Pepper now is looking at reviving another cola that's actually 120 years old. It's actually a cola that came out before Coca-Cola and before Pepsi. and they want to restart the cola war so that they can get their brand of cola to be number one. So here's some old commercials that show this particular cola.
For some years, our friends overseas have been drinking only Pepsi Cola. But recently, they started drinking Coca-Cola. And now, our friends drink Coke and Pepsi only.
That's Lennon.
But somewhere, there are
So this is what, the
people who go out of their
30s?
way for the taste of our
50s.
taste that's
50s.
unrestrained. Yes, some people go out of their way for the taste of our sea. But sometimes
Just started a poll in the YouTube chat.
Some people love cola so
Oh,
much
yeah.
they can't stop
That aged
drinking it.
well.
And for them, there's RC. With RC, you get a great cola taste that's easy on the syrup, easy
I guess
on
that's
the
what
gas.
killers drink.
Right,
It's
OJ?
RC.
RC. For people like O.J. Simpson, who can't stop drinking cola.
I'm not drinking RC. He killed his wife.
Well, you know what happened with RC, and I used to drink RCs when I was a kid because it was cheaper than buying a Coca-Cola or Pepsi at the time.
Well, I always heard it made you want to kill.
Yeah. But now you made me lost my train of thought.
Yeah, the more you drink RC, the smaller your hands get.
Oh yeah. Now I remember.
Or your other part.
The problem with RC is they got associated with basically the South and something called the moon pie. And so that kind of killed them from a nationwide standpoint because the Easterners didn't want to drink a cola that came from the South, even though, and Dr. Pepper had the same problem, but apparently they, being number one now, or number two, they think they can get RC up there as well. So.
Interesting.
Any more comments?
In the Philippines, when I was growing up, we would go to the Sari Sari store and we'd ask for Coke, and they would give it to us in a bag with a straw. And we'd have this plastic bag you could walk around with. And if you ever got a Coke in a glass bottle, if you brought the glass bottle back, they'd give you a couple pesos back.
So is that what you still do in your household? You still put it in a plastic bag and drink it out of a plastic bag?
Just a giant grocery bag with the 2
Nice.
liters. No, I think the the company that actually chooses to create an organic, healthy, consumer conscious soda, where they take the market back from all these alternative sodas like Poppies and like Ollipops and all the different healthy cane sugar sodas. Whenever they realize that, we're losing our market to all these people that realize that they don't want to put poison in their bodies, I think that company is the one that's going to win the war. That's my theory.
Nah.
Hey, well, guess who won in the poll that I just did? I said, "What is your favorite?" It's Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, and then Sprite. Look at that.
My great grandfather would always have a fridge full of Dr. Pepper, and I think that's why he lived.
No Pepsi.
No, he would do Dr. Pepper until his 94th birthday. So he was really a Dr. Pepper. It preserved his body into old age. It's amazing. It's really amazing what it can do for you.
Well, it's the same thing, but Opa is
elixir
Pepsi.
of life.
I think Opa just drinks Pepsi. I don't think I've ever seen him drink a bottle of water. Which,
no.
Hey,
no.
No. If it makes you
That's
live
my
longer.
only vice. I don't smoke. I don't drink.
I drink Pepsi.
Hey,
you should be their spokesman. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I just drink Pepsi.
Just drink Pepsi. That's my vice.
That's funny.
Okay, so this last thing actually is a news report that was quite interesting. It's very short. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what station. It's a news report from a TV station, but I found it quite interesting, and I think you guys might enjoy it. So, and it's very short. So let's take a listen.
Looking for a man who ran away after robbing a store.
Crucial development, Bob. Police have just dispatched a sketch of this. Officers have now arrested the suspect moments ago.
Pretty accurate.
Really looks just like.
That's one of those like movie real life moments. That's hilarious.
So that's the news for today from Opa.
All right. Well, thank you, Opa. Jake, you want to hear this awesome song that I made for TrutherCon?
Sure.
All right. Let's play it. TrutherCon 2.
Caution, AI music.
Here we
Or
go.
is it?
Welcome to the con. Largest, bestest we've ever been on. World stage, amazing speakers. Lifting the veil, we the truth for seekers. Truth for con. We're on. Come along. Join the truth for con. Join the truth for con. Speakers exposing the dark, the shadow, the arc. From start to the finish, the feeling is real. Concealing is peeling, revealing the dealings. Uncovering truth, it's a ride to the ceiling. Wake up, what do you see? Could it be? Who are we? No, not me. It's all a conspiracy. It's a smoke screen. And I don't mean the weed. When I say these days, nothing's as it seems. From big pharma to big tech to big food to big banks. Big dudes making big moves. Keep you down and depressed in the press. Cause your heart is heavy and your brain is confused. The Bilderbergs and the Rothschilds and the Bushes and the Clintons. Man, the whole system is wild. And it takes a village, they protect the child. Take the vaccine, well, ain't that convenient. It's a circle jerk, bunch of perverts, elitists, running the world, pulling the strings like puppets. They was waiting for the call, another minute, proving out the truth uncovered. It's been going on for centuries. I don't trust the news or the TV or the priest. They say the Bible was written by man, so who do you trust? I don't trust the government, the voice of the people. They hear it, they fear it, they feel it. We nearly at the limit. With truth is this limitless. Truth is this limitless. Truth, we the truth seekers. This is Truth for Con. Join us, truth is con. Welcome to the con. Largest, bestest we've ever been on. World stage, amazing speakers. Lifting the veil, we the truth seekers. Truth for Con. War. Come along. Join the Truth for Con. Join the Truth for Con.
Oh no, what's happening? What is this? Oh my gosh. That says 2026? What? Tickets on sale soon, guys. I
2026.
Just thought I would, since you guys are here, you guys are the first to know. We're already starting.
Oh man,
it's crazy because you got to start right after you start. Right after you finish the first one, you got to finish. You got to start the second one.
It's gonna be sweet.
So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Pretty sure I heard a phrase in there I wouldn't necessarily have chosen, but I think
Circle
it
jerk?
was.
I mean, but were they or were they not doing it?
I mean, let's talk about the occultists for a moment. There's a lot of things we don't want to talk about the occultists about.
Well,
talk about
expose the
what
lies.
they're. Yeah. No, I mean, you can point and say, "Hey, look, they do some pretty gross stuff." So. But yeah, man, I'm excited. 2026 is going to be something else, man. I think a lot of the things that have been planted this year, like the year of President Trump's comeback, right? So many things to look back on that have happened this year. It's just been amazing. I think next year it's all going to start to unfurl,
Well, yeah, and we're about to talk with what is it, Sunday Cool, and I'm gonna ask them to come to TrutherCon 2026 and people like that. Everybody we interview, That's my new goal, is to ask as many big names as possible.
Oh yeah, that sounds sweet.
So what do you got for me, Jake, or for me and Opa and everybody else?
Well, shoot, let's start off with a little bit of a video kind of following up on that question we got. By the way, remember, you guys can call into our voicemail and leave more messages for us. We'd love to hear from you. But anyways, check this out.
Anyway, the WHO is proposing a globally interoperable digital identity infrastructure, basically a global ID that permanently tracks every individual's vaccine status.
That is exactly right.
From birth.
From birth. We're seeing in some countries, and I won't say specifically that the United States is on board with this, but it wouldn't surprise me. DNA is collected.
Yeah.
Facial recognition is started to collect it. Any biometrics will be collected. Those will all go into your little ID. It's the little ID. It'll put in your hand or your forehead.
Exactly. It is what could be a prototype of the mark.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes along with that question of why are they putting certain things in so many elements of our day-to-day life. They want us encoded with their RNA, right? And it's funny because it's literally messenger RNA. And what are fallen angels? They are the messengers of the heavens that have come to earth because of their evil, plotting nature, and they want to put their messenger RNA in our DNA to tell our genetics, tell our code to create spike proteins and create different various compounds, I'm sure, that we don't even know about, and the long-term impacts. But anyways, moving on. I showed this a few weeks back, but this is an astronaut that's like, oh yeah, we're going to the moon for the first time. Check this out.
But I'm going to try anyway. This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief.
Did he say the first time? Was that
like
a slip of the tongue, or
try anyway? This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go.
Space Force is going to do it.
Say what? Say that again?
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit.
Land wrong, but I'm going to try anyway.
Okay, so why is this? It all goes back to the MK Ultra concept. Here was a program with this famous
they
guy
were trying to figure out
this other
can we
guy
really
talking
brainwash
about
people?
stuff.
Can we create Manchurian candidates? Can we split people's personalities? It
Sean
involved
Ryan.
a lot of former Nazi scientists, and involved a lot of LSD and dosing people with massive doses of LSD. I have access to the documents that survived the destruction order, and it was called Super Spy. These women would lure these men back to the hotel and drug them with LSD. And we had like Project Stargate, like the Men Who Stare at Goats movie, and remote viewing and all this other stuff was going on. Then they started MK Ultra, which involved a lot of former Nazi scientists, and involved a lot of LSD and dosing people with massive doses of LSD. And
okay, just real quick, I have to say, I kind of think now that the reason they did MK Ultra is because they're like, okay, we got to convince people we've gone to the moon, but we don't know how to get people to lie about it. So they're like, let's give people enormous amounts of drugs and a hooker and tell them to say whatever we want, and they will say it. So yeah, that's okay. Sorry to cut to the chase, but that's basically what some of those experiments we've uncovered were. And let's just listen to some more of this.
ruining a lot of people's lives in the process. But it was an attempt initially to find some kind of a truth serum. And actually the Navy participated in the biggest one, which was called Project Chatter, which is a sub-project of MK Ultra. And with this guy, he's a professor at it's in Hamilton, New York. I can't remember the name of the Colgate University. His name's Dr. George Estabrooks. And he and J. Edgar Hoover are collaborating on a plan to use hypnosis to capture and hypnotize a German submarine captain and give him alter identities. And send him back to his fleet in Germany and have him torpedo the entire German fleet inside the harbor. And this was a legit plan. And I have access to the documents that survived the destruction order, and it was called Super Spy. And do you do show notes? Like the PDF in the comment or PDF in the description thing?
Mm-mm.
Shit. I would have sent it to you so people can download it. But
oh, we'll do it. We'll do it. We've
Okay.
done it before. I thought you meant
Okay.
We'll do it.
Yeah, so I'll send it to you so people can actually look at these because they're
Perfect.
not public record.
Thank you.
I went to this guy's house, talked to a family member. These were like old stuff that survived the CIA's destruction order of all of this stuff. Lines, doing whatever. Jones A is a normal Army officer. Jones B is carrying these vital classified secrets, radio frequencies, whatever it is. I made that last part up, the frequency part up. Who knows what he's carrying? So if Jones A gets captured, Jones B doesn't activate until he hears a very specific hypnotic phrase or hypnotic command under hypnosis. And they do that on the other side of the line. So they developed this stuff way back when.
Hey, just real quick, what do you think their favorite code word to activate people is?
It'd have to be something like, something that we don't say every day.
Pepsi.
Or maybe Nazi. I mean Yahtzee.
Yeah, that would be interesting, Opa, if they were like they'd bring a particular brand or drink, and so it'd give them the excuse to say it around them whenever they wanted to trigger them. They'd be like, "All right, I need to bring over some KFC,
KFC,
rob a bank person." And then
I like his bookshelf in the background. I like that bookshelf in the background.
Rainbow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, carrying on. In another story, there was a street preacher who was arrested in Mississippi, and it's sparking a Supreme Court case on free speech rights. This is a very important topic. Check this out.
Olivier, an evangelical street preacher, says a Brandon, Mississippi law barring him from public property violated his religious freedom and right to free speech. After lower courts blocked him from challenging the law, the U.S. Supreme Court takes up a procedural question that could set a precedent for future free speech disputes.
I made some mistakes.
At the Brandon Amphitheater, concerts draw big audiences.
I love to go out and tell folks about Jesus.
Olivier sees those crowds as an opportunity to share his faith.
We hand out gospel tracts to people and tell them about the message of Christ as they're walking to the concert.
After complaints that he spoke too loud and shouted insults, the city used a local ordinance ordering Olivier to stay within a designated protest area around the amphitheater. When he returned to the main walkway, authorities cited, fined, and gave him a suspended 10-day jail sentence.
They refer to it as a protest and a demonstration. And of course, evangelism really doesn't amount to those things. So by utilizing these vague terms in practicality and in application, it really becomes a situation where the city removes and silences a speech that they don't like.
Olivier didn't appeal because that would have only challenged the conviction, not the ordinance. Instead, he sued to prevent the city from using the law again. Lower courts threw it out, however, saying he used a process meant for only people in custody. Since Olivier served no time, his lawyer sought no other recourse.
Religious liberty really is front and center of this issue. And the reason is because this guarantee that we have to freely exercise our religion, this guarantee that we have to share our faith to fellow citizens in public, really is meaningless if we don't have the opportunity to protect those rights in court.
Okay, so this guy preaching on the street gets thrown into jail. Here's a interesting story that came out a few days ago of Australian police arresting a man caught in a satanic child abuse ring. Pretty crazy.
Police in Australia on an early morning raid, breaking down a door in a Sydney suburb and arresting the alleged 26-year-old ringleader of a group accused of being engaged in some of the most depraved criminal activity imaginable.
Police will allege in court that this international group were engaging in conversations and the sharing of material which depicted child abuse.
On an alleged international satanic child sex abuse material ring. In all, police arrested 4 men in and around Sydney, seizing multiple devices.
Police will allege in court that the initial examination of those devices has discovered thousands of videos depicting the abuse of live children aged between.
They've been denied bail and are expected to next appear in court in late January. Australian authorities call the distribution of child abuse content a borderless crime that's growing thanks to the internet. They're working with other international law enforcement to help identify and rescue children shown in the seized content.
Why do they all have crazy outfits on? Like,
I mean, that kind of gives it away, right?
is that part of the team? It's like, yeah, if you're going to distribute illicit material, you must wear striped polka dot clothes. You know?
And have a shirt that'll make somebody go in a trance, man.
Yeah. Speaking of demonic influencers and rings of people that do weird stuff, here's this guy on Tucker Carlson talking about Diddy.
Yeah. Sean Combs. And he was standing on a stage at an award show.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah, that's right. I won't call him that, but whatever. That guy. And Sean Combs standing up there.
I applaud you,
and he's
sir.
looking into the cameras and he says, I own your kids. I own their souls. I determine what they wear. I determine what they listen to. He's looking right in the camera saying this, meaning he's looking at me. And I'm thinking, oh, is that right, Sean Combs? You own my sons? You own the souls of my sons. Really? And I thought, this guy has no fear whatsoever of a mom or a dad and what they would do to him if he came and tried to take one of their kids. No understanding whatsoever. And basically what you're seeing there is a demon-possessed man. And don't forget this, Tucker, the devil and his minions are the most arrogant creatures in the universe. They are so arrogant.
I've noticed.
I call him the diddler.
They don't care what you think about them. Blah. I mean, they're just going to say it right to your face. And so I saw him say that and I went, this guy, music for Sean Combs is like a weapon. He uses his music to indoctrinate, we talked about music earlier, how it can go in between all the defenses you have. It can get through your soul and your spirit and all the way down into you and get stuck in your head for the rest of your life. And he knows that too.
Earworms.
He uses it for wicked purposes. So it's a weapon for him. It's something that's his main go-to. And I was thinking about that and I said, yeah, me too. Music is my weapon of choice. And is anybody going to rebut this devil just said about our kids? Nobody did. Nobody said boo about it. Well, there's Sean Combs up there just declaring that he owns the souls of our children in America. I said, yeah, I don't think so. And I got really intense with that thought process. And I thought there needs to be a song that talks about what a mom or a dad would be willing to do to keep a Sean Combs style person. And there's millions of them in our country.
No way.
As we discussed earlier,
You think
there's
he'll make a comeback?
literally
No way.
nothing they
There's no
wouldn't
way.
do to
He's been
protect their
burned
kids.
publicly.
And I really don't think that the people on the other side of the table, the predator class out there,
they're trying to publicly
don't really have
turn
an
that
understanding
into
of that.
like an
It's almost as if they have no fear
lifestyle.
of the American parent, of the dad, the regular guy, the guy that keeps to himself, works hard every day, just leave me alone guy. I think they don't really understand what that person would turn into if you put your hands on one of their kids, because they would rip you limb from limb. They would become the most primal beast you've ever met in your life. They would lose all inhibition. You lose, they win. All they would care about is that they live long enough to kill you. How about we put them on the run? How about she's not there because she's been taken, and her dad is played by Sean.
So yeah.
Hey, I got a good question for you, Jake.
Yeah, what's up?
Who would you trust, and you have to pick one, who would you trust more around your kids? Diddy, Michael Jackson when he was alive, or Ye?
There's not a none of the above.
No.
Yeah, I'd probably trust Ye, and I would just be like, you're not allowed to be alone with my children. Sorry, but I mean, if he was just around, that's
a good choice.
Like he probably understands culture. Yeah, I think he understands like honor culture, even though he, does certain things that people,
he does
have
love
big
his
issues
kids.
with. he does love his children. He can understand that,
Allegedly.
hopefully. All right. Well, check this out. Whistleblowers expose a New Jersey organ harvesting scheme. This is from like Glenn Beck's news service. And apparently there's some kind of scandal unfolding in New Jersey. The shadowy world of organ procurement, where lives hang in the balance and trust is on life support. Remember you did that segment a few weeks back, Jeremiah, on the organ harvesting that goes on in our medical system?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Anyways,
real, man.
Watch out there if you got that little heart on your driver's license. Yeah. Check this out. If space satellites were real, then what are these airplanes, and why are these what Google Earth uses to take photos instead of the thousands and thousands of alleged satellites? Very interesting.
Yep.
Let me see here. Christian school teacher Enoch Burke sentenced to life in prison.
This is Enoch Burke,
for transphobia. This is an Irish teacher, and they have charged him with life in prison, according to this news post. So this might be AI or fake, but if it's real, then it's crazy. We see a pattern of how Australia and Britain, the British Isles, are usually like years ahead of where they want the U.S. culturally.
A teacher who has refused to deny his Christian belief and bow to transgender ideology. We're here at the forecourts again in Dublin, where Enoch's case was again before Mr. Justice Brian Cregan. And he had a number of matters to deal with today in relation to the case. But at the beginning, he said, if any member of the Burke family so much as speaks, they will be removed by Gardaí. So this is the situation we're in. Lies are being told from the bench. Enoch Burke, his name blackened, the Constitution set at naught. The
What does
law.
he mean blackens?
And if a person so much as speaks a word, they will be removed by a battalion of Gardaí.
Judge Cregan today has given us a new version of the Constitution regarding religious freedom. He said if Enoch Burke practiced his Christian belief outside the gate, this would never have happened. He said it 3 times today. So he is telling us you can have your religious belief outside the gate. But that's not what the Constitution tells us. It tells us that we have a constitutional right to the free practice and profession of our religious belief in our school, in our job, in our shop, wherever we are, not according to this perverted idea and judgment of Judge Cregan.
Yeah. All right. So things going south in the British Isles, Ireland, Scotland, and Britain, Wales also. All those places are having immigrant issues, and they're going to have freedom of speech issues, as we see in Britain.
Yep.
Hey, check this out. Putin had a warning to Europe before meeting with Trump's envoy for 5 hours. This came out a few days ago.
Well, Donald Trump's top negotiators have not closed a deal with Russia's president to end his so-called special military operation in Ukraine. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner sat with Russian President Vladimir Putin in a meeting that lasted nearly 5 hours. A top Kremlin aide says those talks were, quote, constructive and highly substantive. But there are other points that, quote, do not suit us.
Is that Ted Cruz
Putin
up
appears
next
to
to
be
Putin?
accusing Europe of altering the Trump administration's original 28-point peace
Wouldn't
plan.
surprise me.
That proposal had been criticized for appearing to favor Russia. He also said this.
We are not planning to go to war with Europe. I have already spoken about this 100 times. But if Europe suddenly wants to go to war with us and starts, we are ready right now.
Well, shortly after the meeting ended, a top Russian official posted a single word on social media, productive, punctuated by a dove and an olive branch emoji.
Peace.
Welcome to Thompson
Peace and
Sales.
safety.
5 generations strong,
Sorry,
proudly
guys.
serving Springfield.
Ad network.
Well, CNN
generations.
joins us now live from London. Salma, no deal, perhaps no surprise there. But what comes next, and what more are you learning about these talks? Nearly 5 hours.
Nearly 5 hours of talks described as substantive by the Russians, but no compromise, no deal. Now,
Okay. 5 hours of talks, no deal. That's what you guys need to know about the extensive talks. But I did want you to hear the warning from Putin where he's like, look, I'm not going to start a war, but if they got a war, then they're going to get a war, Pretty OG gangster of him sounding. On to the topic of, let's see. This is AI robots walking around, and this is a comparative video of figures from a few years ago and how they look mechanically now. Check this out. The top is a few years ago, and the bottom is how they can run now.
Oh my gosh, they run better than I do. That's when you know it's scary.
Yeah, that robot looks more human than I am.
For real.
Oh, man.
Definitely looks more human than Joe Biden. I mean, sorry guys, said it.
All right, so we have this here, which is how robots are being programmed to run like we just witnessed, but they can also basically do other way crazier, creepier motions. And so this is basically like out of a sci-fi movie. This is how the robots could be running around, if the AI like Borg mind takes them over and is like, I must make them more efficient to hunt humans. This is what they'll look like when they're coming after you. So get ready.
No thanks. I'm out.
Shoot it! Shoot it! It's on the wall.
I got this.
Get it, honey! Woo! Throw the grenade. Take the robot out. It's basically Will Smith's movie come to life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, it's so crazy. Robot spider.
It looks like a horror movie.
Master, pet me. Master, pet me. Oh goodness, yeah. Well, hey, since you showed your AI music video earlier, check out this short clip. I put it in our last episode, I think, our Friday episode, but I wanted to show the live stream people my my music video here. All right, check it out.
Your own understanding, live and die for the truth. Don't be built on the sand. Defiant lies left and right. Proud people still standing. Time after time, take repentance for granted. Wicked the pattern, it's the trouble you're damned in. It's the trouble you're damned in. Trouble you stand in. You drink the sweetest of nectars, yeah, you're dying of thirst. Drop to your knees, thus you're leaving a hearse. Regardless, the start of races made in the ending. Now the nations will gather, cause they thought the beast was rivers of fire, they burn away. Here comes in glory, His judgment day. Yet they gather around, they don't understand. Shoot the face of the king with their heads in the sand. Prophecies unfold, yet the hour is near. Watch the heavens of the
This is as AI as mine, man.
feel the ground beneath ya. Ain't no place for a
Mine wasn't AI.
stand up, face the fire in the sky. No escape from the great El Shaddai. The great El Shaddai. Rivers of fire, they burn away. He comes in glory, judgment day.
All right, cool. Did you guys know that Chinese robot troops have been seen guarding their border from the Indian side?
No, I didn't, but that's fascinating.
Maybe they're crawling around like those spiders we just watched.
I hope so.
Yeah, look, the road thing is going on. The robot.
Maybe we just let the robots fight each other. We don't have to. No humans have to die. You know?
No, I mean we're gonna like remote into the robot's body as a trans cyborg or whatever, and we run around and play in the robot's body in real life as if it's surrogate, like that Bruce Willis movie.
What if it was like a 14-year-old?
ये रोड बना रखे हैं लोग चाइना की।
I don't see any. Or was it the dots?
Yeah, they were zoomed in right here. Do you see it right here, sitting on the border?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a robot. Yep, China's got the robot army already. And meanwhile, robots are guarding our borders while all of the explorers of the world are queued up on the top of Mount Everest. This is, we covered this, I think, a few years ago, but it's just crazy how it's become so tourist infested. It seems like now it's not like this grand feat. Now it's like everybody's like, I got to get to the top of Everest before I die so I can say I did it. So they're standing in lines like these. Bottleneck.
No, thank you.
Yeah, they're getting bottlenecked at Fat Man's Pinch.
You know what's crazy? I watched a documentary a long time ago. I don't know if it's true or real, but there are still bodies on Everest that have never made it, and they just can't get them because they're,
inaccessible places.
Yeah. One of the things that was beautiful about TrutherCon is I got to reconnect with a very special gentleman. He was actually Rob's trash man.
Yeah, he's a good friend.
Very, very cool guy, and he has a love for language that I highly appreciate. And apparently now that AI is quickly advancing, it's unlocking secrets of communication and making connections that otherwise were very difficult and timely to make for just men thinking and reading books and speaking, the few languages we can.
He said he would go to Rockwall with me to film. So we'll see.
2024 with their new AI system. And guess what they found? In 2024, they listed that there's 143 language families total. Many of these are called language isolates, meaning they have no relatives. None. They didn't come from another one, and they don't link to anything else. The estimated number of isolates, meaning languages that are completely alone, are 70 to 90. What does that remind you of? The Table of Nations in Scripture says that there were 70 nations that descended from Noah's child. This is, again, the secular literature. This has nothing to do with young earth creation or biblical creation or anything. So the birth of language formed at the area exactly where the Tower of Babel was and spread from there. And when you ask AI, are there any new language families arising today? It says very small, possibly zero, in the strictest sense that there have been any new languages after that time. But why? If they're just arising easily, why not a new language family? What is the probability? Ran that as well. It's 0.0001% chance that the probability of 90 to 100 languages arising on their own worldwide at the same time from independently. It's basically statistically improbable.
Wow. Yeah. Not to mention geneticists, even secular geneticists will track the earliest common ancestor to like 700 BC. And so whenever you think about the whole narrative of the Tower of Babel and Abraham and the promise to Abraham that your seed, your descendants will be like the stars of the heavens, it literally has come true in the modern age. And I think we're going... It's kind of like a palindrome how the scripture unfolds prophetically in my theory currently, which is, there's scripture that says you'll know the end from the beginning. Well, you go back to the beginning in kind of a reverse mirror like, thing. So when we talk about the days of Noah in a palindrome style understanding of how time plays out, if we're going towards the days of Noah prophetically, then what comes before the days of Noah in this line of thinking, it would be the Tower of Babel, which the mirror image is back in the old time, like in the scriptures, it was the days of Noah, then the Tower of Babel, and the mirrored image is the Tower of Babel, then the days of Noah. So, the thing about the Tower of Babel is it's all the languages which were split and diversified into 70 coming back into one universal unifying belief, culture, language, and that's kind of what you're seeing AI is allowing, is the cracking of the code in terms of intercommunication and information and all that. But what do you guys think about Netflix buying Warner Brothers? Have you seen this?
I know Opa definitely has an opinion.
Has agreed to buy Warner Brothers and HBO for a whopping $83 billion. So if approved, the merger would combine one of the most storied studios with the world's largest streaming service.
The deal includes Warner Brothers' massive catalog, including the HBO Max streaming platform. What it doesn't include is the company's networks, including CNN, Discovery, TBS, and HGTV. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas joins us now. Good to see you, Chloe. So Netflix beat out both Comcast, our parent company, and Paramount Skydance for this deal. Tell us why they wanted Netflix so bad.
Well, there has been such a bidding war. And, at the end of the day, now that Netflix is going to have potentially, if this bill goes through, big movies and franchises like The Big Bang Theory, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, The Wizard of Oz, and the DC universe. When you combine that with things like Stranger Things and Bridgerton and Adolescence, this is historic. This is massive, but there are a lot of hurdles to get through. A big question is Warner Brothers. When you think of that, what do you think of? Movie theaters, right? Netflix. Well, Netflix and chill, y'all, on your couch. So what does this mean? Well, this morning, the head of Netflix,
what did she just say?
saying
Why
that
did she
their
have
plan
to
is
slip
to
that in there?
continue to operate this iconic film studio with theatrical
Degenerates.
film releases. But
Okay.
now a lot of people who watch HBO Max are wondering, so is there going to be like an HBO tab within Netflix and all of these questions? Well, they don't have those answers yet. Obviously, they're thinking about all of this, but Sarando said that it's just too early to decide how they're going to package all of this for consumers.
Really interesting.
Yeah, it is, because they're inheriting this really iconic, massive library of movies, but they're not inheriting the cable parts. They're not inheriting news, CNN, for example. What happens to CNN and these other assets?
So that's a really good question. Warner Brothers Discovery had laid out two possible paths earlier this year, and one was to have one bidder to come and buy all of it. Easy peasy. The other was to
Buy it all.
sort of split, where you have the cable networks and then you have the streamer and you have the iconic film studio Warner Brothers. And that is exactly what's happening. Now, I mean, it ain't
Cheers.
over till it's over, right? So Paramount Skydance could continue to try to bid here, but they might not be successful. But they put out a letter yesterday where they were really kicking and screaming, more or less, saying that they were not happy about this potential Netflix deal happening. Now, there are a lot of regulatory hurdles here. President Donald Trump still ultimately has the say-so, and this is a bipartisan issue. You have Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat out of Massachusetts, saying that this would be a monopoly if it were to go through. Then you also have Darrell Issa, a congressman from California who's Republican, who's very skeptical about this. But every time there's big mergers like this, there's always voices on both sides.
Okay, so Netflix is buying Warner Brothers. Very interesting. By the way, before I forget, I wanted to show you guys something I picked up recently. Jeremiah, you'll appreciate this. Do you guys see this?
Yeah, is that the stuff with uranium or no, it's radium.
Yes,
Radium?
it is. This
You
is
have to put
a
blue light under it or a black
a
light.
uranium drinking glass. That's why it glows green. And yeah, if you put a black light on it, it glows in the dark. It's super.
Just don't drink
sweet.
out of it.
I mean, you can drink small amounts of it. You just got to be careful it doesn't break, or you don't want to consume, dust from this glass, But there is a guy that used to go around, he would literally eat uranium, things. He died in old age. But yeah, there's definitely radioactive stuff. I've seen those videos where they put the gas cloud around a device that's like shooting off these little like quarks or whatever. So I've seen that, it's pretty hard science. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. Why is it important that Netflix is buying Warner Brothers? Well, let's just remind ourselves of a little history of Netflix. Check this out.
And other news outlets are now reporting that the Obamas are in advanced talks with Netflix to launch some kind of streaming programming. But what are the Obamas up to here? I think there are a few possibilities. One is that this is about fighting for President Obama's legacy, that he is concerned about President Trump's efforts to undo much of his work in office, getting out of the Paris Climate Accord, repealing the Affordable Care Act, rolling back DACA. These are specific policy prescriptions that he may want to fight for and build public support for. Another possibility is he's actually just kind of interested in getting into the media business. We know that the press is something that has long fascinated Barack Obama. Although we don't know exactly what the Netflix programming might look like, one possibility is that he will essentially try to do in-depth journalism of a sort. And I think a third possibility is that this whole project is actually more about Michelle Obama than it is about Barack Obama. The New York Times is reporting that at least one possible—
That's a man. I don't
project
care what anybody
is a
says.
program hosted by the former First Lady, in which she
Allegedly.
talked about issues that were really important to her when she was in the White House. Now, we know that she has said over and over that she does not want to be president. She's not running for office, but she's 54. There's a lot of time for her to change her mind. She may be very honest about that right now, but 10 years could go by and she might still want to run for office at that point. And so this is just one way, perhaps, of keeping her in the public eye. The former president is in kind of a tricky spot here just because of who he is and coming from politics, that any type of work he does, however journalistic, is going to look like political agenda setting.
Well, this Obama nation's manifested, ladies and gentlemen. They have now acquired Warner Bros. And so I would say every corporate film studio, right? They all have their own particular agendas. And when you see certain people acquire other licenses, you can kind of predict that they're going to start pushing their particular ideology through those licenses in the coming future now that they've acquired it. But hey, check this out. A train just recently derailed after crashing into a truck. Pretty crazy.
Deja vu. Oh, I guess. Hit a truck. Oh.
Wait. They're like, let's back up. Bobby, get in the truck. Back up.
Was there somebody in that truck?
Oh, there it goes. Derailing. Hey, the car's like, back up quick. Yeah, that's
hopefully everybody was okay.
Yep. Pretty crazy footage. Oh. Yeah, that's right. All right, Jeremiah, that's all for this week's live stream. I think pretty interesting stuff happening in the world. You know, I think the language behind what that old 7-year video talking about the Obamas and why they got into Netflix is very particularly telling as to why that it's interesting that Warner Brothers has now been acquired, because now you know that guiding hand of political influence is going to be behind a lot of the franchises that Warner Brothers has put out over the years. I'm trying to think of some examples. I mean, like the one thing coming to mind is Looney Tunes, right? But like, what else? I can't think of.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
But your mic's kind of glitchy. Is it sound like that to you, Jake?
He said he doesn't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna happen. Because number one, I think from a standpoint, you one of your little clips said that the president is the one that has to, the final say, and he was really siding with Paramount, not with Netflix. That's one thing. The other thing is that I really do think that it would be a monopoly. So
it'll be he's saying it'll be a monopoly, and that the president was siding with the other film studio. But, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's interesting, but if they do win the bidding war, then Netflix is going to become this media crazy, giant, even though they're already super big. I mean, they basically redefine television in terms of short series and such. And right now,
with the theater owners too, they're like it because of the fact that they feel that Netflix was going to put all stuff on Netflix and not to the movie theaters, or whatever they put into the movie theaters is going to be short run and put on Netflix later, and it's going to affect their bottom line. And of course, other movie studios don't like it either. So I think there's a lot of conflict.
Well, sorry, Opa, your mic's
it's pretty bad.
Pretty bad. I think one of your connections.
We got the most of it.
Yeah, we got the most of it. Yeah. What do you got for us tonight, Jeremiah?
Well, I mean, I did a poll, and you guys want to laugh a little bit, so now it's time for an all new. Please excuse my sense of humor. Now I do play the same one, but with more. So this is just what I have as of right now. And if you enjoy any of these, make sure you tell us what your favorite one is. And if you're offended by any of these jokes, I'm sorry that you can't take a joke. Let's roll it.
They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it. Make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. These people are not frickin' humans, okay?
It just hit the second tower.
Get out of that casket and walk. You're healed. I've done it again. Pass the collection plate.
This might be my darkest one. Sorry, guys.
I have to say Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, but the minute you say Happy Hanukkah, you filthy animal,
it becomes a hate crime. You know?
Why is
I
that?
guess some type of a line gets
Hanukkah,
crossed when you switch the holidays. You tried this with other holidays? If you say Happy Kwanzaa, you filthy animals, it's also a hate crime.
Elon Musk, Elon Musk, Elon Musk.
Respectfully, who gives a shit about Mexican food? Sure, it tastes good, but every dish is the exact same thing. Everything is a taco, but they call it different things. It's bullshit. If I served a burger to you upside down, it's still a burger. Okay, it doesn't become a salad. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Someone else has had to have picked up on this as well, right?
For you, Jake.
Oh no! Don't point at me. Point right up here.
Thank you.
This is great.
My wife, she make this cheese. Very nice. She make it from a milk from her teeth.
His face.
Out here chilling on Gay Street. That's a great place to put the Holocaust Memorial.
And there's no one there to tell them. You poop in the toilet, not on the floor. And you don't want to tell them because that's racist.
We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the plea. We will fight for the gospel, we know his name.
Jew on every topic.
I kept this in here for you, Jake, because I know how much you love
cat,
this salute.
The cat was like doing it. I was like, that cat's like a power cat.
What do you do?
I'm recently retired.
You are retired?
Yes. And now,
physical or mental?
Retired. No, not retired. I don't work anymore.
Stopped working.
Stopped working.
It's very good you allow Rita to eat with you in the same place.
Okay, well, that's all I got as of yet, but I will have many more funny clips. If you enjoy dark senses of humor like mine, you know, that's what I got.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, it's been fun and it's been real and it's been real fun, I guess.
Real fun. I guess it has been.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you tune in this Friday, 4:44. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Peace
Adios.
out.
Actually, we'll see you on Thursday on the Discord. So we'll see you then.